The grape. The miraculous grape, the fruit of the gods. The only fruit in the world that's so perfect for creating an alcoholic beverage. It is perfect because each special little berry contains everything you need to make wine. It's nature's own DIY wine kit. But surely nature didn't make them just for us. Why are there grapes at all? Simply put, grapes exist to protect a vine's seeds. Vines, like all living things, have to keep on reproducing, otherwise they will die out. One of the ways plants reproduce is by producing seeds. If these seeds are planted, new plants will grow from them. The vine needed a way to make sure their seeds were safe, and at the same time find a way for these seeds to get to new areas. So it grew soft, juicy, protective flesh around the seeds. This is known as the flesh, and as we'll learn, is where all the liquid in wine comes from. But this flesh is also full of sweet sugar that makes it a perfect meal for birds. The birds eat the grapes and deposit the seeds so vines can continue to grow. That's why nature made grapes. But we have found an even better use for them: wine. Vine varieties used for wine produce bunches with several hundred grapes on each bunch. The major parts of each grape are the stalk, flesh, skin, and seeds. These are the main ingredients of wine. How they grow, ripen, and are used in winemaking will have a massive effect on a wine's flavor. Let's look at each one and start understanding what they taste like and what role they have in making wine. Let's start with stalks. The stalks are life support for grapes. All the nutrients and water that are needed to make the soft protective flesh for the seeds is passed into the grape by the stalks. The stalks are not always used for winemaking as they are quite bitter. The reason for this bitterness is because the stalk contains a chemical compound known as tannins. Next time you're eating a bunch of grapes, chew a bit of the stalk to taste this. You'll find a bitter taste and a drying texture in your mouth, like tea that's too strong. Tannins are a very important compound in winemaking, and we are going to learn more about them later in this subject. All of the nutrients, sweet sugars, and water that the stalks pump into the grape need to be held together by something. The grape skin is the tough layer that holds all this juice and pulp together. To the naked eye, it looks like there is just one layer of grape skin, but in fact there are different layers. It has a waxy outer layer that keeps water out and the juice in, and helps protect the grape against fungus and other nasty biological infections. The waxy layer on the outside of a grape skin is like a grape's raincoat. The scientific name for this raincoat is the cuticle. Underneath the cuticle, there is a layer of skin cells, and then another layer underneath called the hypodermis. This layer of skin is really important. It is here that as the grape ripens on the vine, all sorts of chemical compounds accumulate and develop. These compounds are the main source of flavor, texture, and aroma in wine. They only make up a tiny part of a finished bottle of wine, but contribute nearly all of the flavor. In red grapes, all of the color pigments come from this layer, which, as we will learn, is why when making red wines, you need to leave the skins in contact with the juice. The flavor compounds are known as phenolic compounds. Under the skin is the soft and squishy part of the grape called the flesh. The flesh contains all the juice that will be turned into wine. The juice is made up of sugar, water, acids, and some flavor compounds. Sugar, acid, and tannins are some of the major ingredients in wine, and while they do not contribute to aroma, they are very important when it comes to texture and taste. The amount of sugar and acid in a grape will determine how sweet and refreshing the wine will be. We will learn more about sugar and acids in the next few lessons. Finally, in the middle of the flesh, there are the seeds. There are usually 1 or 2 seeds in each berry, and they are not very important when it comes to making wine because if they are crushed, they will release very bitter tannins into the wine. The next time you're eating a bunch of grapes that have seeds, bite into a seed and you will taste these bitter oils. These 4 elements, namely the stalks, flesh, skin, and seeds, make up every single grape that is used to make wine. It is no wonder that people of ancient times thought that wine was the drink of the gods. Each grape contains the right amount of sugar, acid, tannins, and flavor compounds needed to make a complex, delicious, and safe drink. In the next few lessons, we are going to learn about these ingredients in more detail. starting with what makes grapes so delicious to birds and men: sugar.